Before I proceed with this video, I understand some of you just want the answer. You just want to hear what I personally believe could potentially be the best investment for the week. Well, just scroll down, take a look at the description, and of course, when you look at the chapters, look for the conclusion chapter, just skip ahead. Now, you would basically miss all the justifications and the figurings out in regards to, what makes potentially any of these skins a nice investment, but, some of you just might take my word for it, I guess. I mean, it's up to you. I yap for a good reason. Anyway, I should also just sit here and say, sorry if I sound a bit sick. If you saw the rust rotation video, I'm sure you heard my nose and whatnot. I don't know what happened to me. I didn't even stream today. So, yeah, if I sound a bit funny, I sincerely apologise. Right, so as you can see here, we have the June 18, 2026 Rustor. We've got an interesting batch of skins. Now, of course, it's not exactly like a complete the sets Rustor and whatnot, but I'm kind of surprised. We have another transparent aim sight SAR. We potentially have a brand new transparent aim sight collection on the horizon. We also have a transparent aim sight bolt action rifle. Literally 1 week after the Heat Seeker. For half the price. Thank you, Face Punch. So that happened. We got some Ballistic Roadsign gloves and boots. Well, they're not like technically their very own sort of item like the actual armor in game. That's a whole discussion, don't you worry. We have more turrets, but based on what I'm looking at, I think quite a lot of people might be a bit hesitant with them. We also happen to have the first proper marketable pairing of Salvage tools, with the acceptance of the Gold Chain Salvage stacks, which of course we already have the Ice Pick. Yeah, that's the first instance of marketable Salvage tools, but it probably won't be the last. So, lots of interesting things to say, but can I just quickly point out right now, look at that. That is the first 24 hours of sales. Yep, get a good look at that. It doesn't seem like much, is it? I don't think anything here is going to go all the way up to 30,000 subscribers. Let me say that. Maybe we'll have a few comfortably above 20,000, maybe even a few of them probably even close to 25,000. But I don't think it's going to be an incredibly wacky week. If anything, I kind of expect it to slow down. I will sit here and say, though, I wouldn't be surprised if that SAR ends up becoming the top-selling skin after the whole 7-day tenure of this Rustor, because I think a lot of people are waiting until the last second to make a move on that. To be honest with you, you probably could just jump in now if you really want to, and I'll explain why in a bit, don't you worry. But yep, just want to get the point across. Sales don't seem to be super wacky, and of course, if you want to get a good look at all the brand new skins, please consider watching the Rust Rotation video for June 18, 2026. For some people, if you aren't fully well aware, the chapters are there. I understand it doesn't always show. In fact, it's not even shown for me right here. But if that ever happens, I always provide chapters in the description at the very least. So, yeah, just want to make sure everybody's aware. And let's just verify that I can confirm that is the first 24 hours of sales. Yep, it's the exact same. So, okay, cool. Well then, shall we now go through all these skins then and try and figure out, could any of these work out as, as nice investments? Could there be any potential problems? Let's begin. Ballistic Roadsign gloves and boots. 24 hours in, and well, the both of them are around 8,000 subscribers. Obviously, gloves have more. I'd have reason to believe people prefer to use gloves over boots. I guess that makes sense. But here's a good question to ask. With the ballistic armor, and I should point out, I have paired up the Roadsign gloves with the ballistic armor in this video. You can quite literally see it right there in the thumbnail. I do show it off all properly and whatnot. What happens if they make the ballistic armor skinnable? And of course the BDU clothing as well. The BDU shirt and pants. Wouldn't that be a bit of a problem? But then again, if people want to have something that works with the default, at the very least with what we have currently right now, I could see people appreciating that. I'm not too surprised to see that they have sold quite nicely. But here's another question to ask. Do we actually have a collection on the horizon? In fact, the best way to find out is see if people have asked. So, we've got 3 comments. Let's see what's been said here. No one really asked, so let's go over to here and look at Diaz's workshop. We'll go to the boots now, and did anybody ask? And it looks like it's the same thing. So I'm not sure what they're going to do next, but when I was showcasing these yesterday, someone did point out we could get like tactical gloves. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would be a very, very good shout. We could still see some sequels. Would it be wrong to suggest the idea of ballistic tier 2 armor? guess you could still have tier 3 armor. I guess you could still have hoodie and pants. But is it going to mainly be the Roadsign gloves and boots that will be appreciated? At the very least, they have been accepted. And if we were to see more, of course, we should, expect a nice spike in spike in price ever so nicely. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm kind of rolling the expectation that maybe Face Puncher's going to only accept these boots and gloves. Maybe tactical gloves as well. I'm not really thinking confidently that we're going to see like a proper collection being built up from it. Like, it could happen. But, is Face Punch down for that? I don't know. That's the tough question to ask. And are they ever actually going to consider making ballistic armor and BDU clothing skinnable? Or maybe they have it so because, it's a higher tier armor and more prestigious, they'll probably sell it as a DLC. Pair it up with like a random weapon, like maybe the first ever M16 skin, and there you go, $10 please, gimme. We'll see, okay, we'll see. For now, it does slot in quite nicely. It does look as if it lines up very nicely as well. I look at it positively. I'm just not 100% sure it's going to be doing perfectly fine. But then again, what else is there to pair up with the ballistic clothing and armor? True. I lean more towards preferring the gloves over the boots as well. Yeah. So, alright then. We'll leave that be, but there's definitely a lot to think about in that regard. Gear mechanism garage door. Now, this is a pretty interesting glow-in-the-dark design. A steampunk design. Okay. Well, of course, we should be expecting sheet metal doors, sheet metal double doors, and whatnot. Yes, yes, yes. I fully expect it to happen. I'm expecting it. But we've got to wait a while now, I guess. I'm sure we'll probably see another skin being produced over the course of this weekend. How long until it gets accepted? Will it be accepted? If it does, okay, yeah, that garage door is going to probably work out very, very nicely. But by default, okay, so let's explain. Once again, how many garage doors are we going to have this year? How many times have I said that this year? Well, so far, we have 22. And last year, we had a record-breaking amount of 39. We haven't had a proper, we haven't fulfilled the halfway point yet for this year. We're close, though. Wow, that's gone quick. I'm really getting old. Time's just flying by. Cherish the time you have. This is getting a bit existential. Anyway, so, priced at $3. It is a pretty cool glow-in-the-dark design, but what, don't you think we'll probably see another garage door that has a pretty cool glow-in-the-dark design? That could also turn into a brand new deployable collection, or just a door collection of sorts. So, that's the point. We are seeing a lot of garage doors being accepted. I don't think that's going to stop. I fully expect to see more. Inevitably, Halloween, Christmas. Yep, there's going to be even more. I'm sorry to say, but I just don't fully trust it. But of course, keep an eye on the workshop. You don't have to rush into doing any purchases. You don't have to rush into doing any sort of buy orders. Well, you can't do that now. But what I'm saying is you don't have to jump in and do an investment immediately. You can take your time. You can wait it out. I always say it's smarter to wait until Wednesday, look at the sales, and then do the abnormal orders. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and just go on a bit of a side tangent. So, of course, this is a great example. We saw a lot of interesting skins for Complete the Sets 2026, didn't we? But did any of them look perfectly fine to jump into? Did any of them look as if, you know what, I actually feel confident with them? Initially, I didn't fully trust it. Initially, when I first saw this store, I was like, okay, that's cool, but I have seen Complete the Sets Rust stores before. Not everything works out perfectly. It was smarter to wait it out. That's exactly what we did. So, of course, we'll go over to here, and I'm going to go ahead and point out the abnormal barders for last week. After looking at the sales, after making considerations, I actually did jump in and buy 30 of the naval camo jackets. And that's purely based on the idea that it is the lowest selling skin amongst all of this. And I have reason to believe naval camo is actually doing pretty sweet. It's in demand. I hope it does a lot better. But if this remains in demand, if this remains potentially rising up in price even more so, especially during the summer peaks, with that selling the least, surely that will rise up ever so nicely. Also, the considerations of, are we going to see another blue jacket such as this? I doubt it. Although it was quite funny to see another jacket appear literally the week after. They are completely different in terms of designs and colour schemes and whatnot. So at least it's unique, it stands out. Hopefully that also gives it a nice boost. So the lack of sales, the nice things to say about it, I had to jump in. But I wouldn't have felt confident until I did the abnormal barders and then looked at it afterwards. It had tons of support behind it. It's always smarter to wait it out than make a move, okay? And yeah, I looked at all the other skins here as well, and I had doubts, and I thought I'd just stick with my barders. So you could go ahead and watch that if you so wish. You could go ahead, watch the first 5 minutes just to understand what's going on. If you just want to skip ahead to the part where we do the barders, where the chapter's right there. But the abnormal barder support, listen in with that. Because by then, we've got the barders down. We can see how much support we initially see of all the skins. But typically, the initial barders are the barders that'll be sticking around for a very, 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 very long time. It's easy to kind of figure out what could actually retain. And yeah, that jacket was looking special. So, all right, end of side tangent. It's smarter to be patient. It's smarter to wait it out. And in regards to that garage door, we should at the very least keep an eye out for a potential sequel this weekend. If we see that, all right, at least we have something to anticipate, okay? But if we don't see anything being produced, if we don't see another gear mechanism skin being, like, prepared, I'm not feeling as confident. And the second we see another garage door, that'll probably take away all the attention that had. And then there'll be another one. And then there'll be another one. And then there'll be another one. Point made? Yeah. So, we'll see what becomes of it. But with the sales I'm seeing at the moment, with the fact that it's the second highest selling skin so far, I'm not feeling that confident as of now. So, yeah, right. Tribal Alloy SAR. We potentially have a brand new collection to look forward to, and yes, the SAP is doing quite nicely. So of course we started off with a AK-47, then we got the SAP. If I recall, the AK-47 doesn't have transparency, it's just got a pretty cool metallic design to it and whatnot. But this right here, it does have transparency. And when that came out, it was the cheapest transparent aim sight SAP that we saw, currently in Rust. So that was nice, and after it sold quite a decent amount, which was actually very similar to what we saw with the Heatseeker sales, I thought, you know what? With the possibilities of seeing more, with like an actual collection potentially appearing for this, I jumped in, I made a move, and I bought a bunch of those. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy. As you can see, that's risen up in price ever so nicely. The barders are creeping upwards as well. That very likely will do even better. And I do believe the B-SAP and the Heatseeker SAP are doing better now as well. So, okay, that's nice, Hedge, but we're here to talk about the SAR. But the SAR, it's in the exact same position. The exact same position as that SAP. What I'm trying to get across is that, of course, in the past, we've had other transparent aim sight SARs. Notably the HellCore SAR. That appeared earlier this year. That sold for $3. That sold quite a lot, and that rose all the way up to about $5+, all right? Now, of course, with this appearing, it's kind of caused a little bit of an issue. But I wouldn't be surprised if it still rebounds and goes back up in price in the future. Because when this appeared, we also happened to see this dip in price for a bit. Last year, we saw the Heatseeker SAR. And that right there, that did almost 40,000 subscribers. And yet, because it got so much in its collection, because there's so much demand for this particular skin, that has just been steadily increasing in price more and more and more as time has gone on. Even with competition, even with that Spanish Twitch drop that appeared literally just 1 month after this appeared in the Rust store, it still recovered. It still worked out very, very nicely. So, what I'm trying to get across is, we don't see too many transparent aim sight SAR skins being accepted. And let's just show you the sales history as of recent. You can see when the Twitch drop appeared. Oh dear. But then went all the way back up again. The demand was there. People liked it. People appreciated it. And yeah, it's had some ups and downs. Like this is the autumn-fall seasonal dip here. Then it rises up ever so nicely as we go through post-Christmas, cools off again, and then as of recent, as we get closer and closer to the summertime, it's been cruising on upwards. And then, of course, very, very recently, there's another transparent aim sight SAR. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll just go back up in price again over the course of the next 2 months. Not sure how high it'll go, but I expect it to improve. What I'm saying is that this has had, this has had its ups and downs, but if you were to just look at this and then just consider an overall trend, that has just been steadily increasing in price. And as of recent, it was at an all-time high, or rather, a more steady all-time high, and it was expected to go up even higher. But then the new SAR appeared. So, yes, that's worked out nicely. HellCore SAR also worked out very nicely. And this right here, you are the cheapest of the batch. HellCore currently costs about $4.50. Heatseeker currently costs at least over $6. This right here, ooh, only $3.49. Now, as I was also alluding to at the SAP, we were anticipating more skins being produced, more skins potentially being accepted. Well, look what happened. And now you're going to sit there and ask, okay, well, what's next for this? Well, funny you say that, because if I could just quickly go over to here, I'll point out we have a tribal alloy bolt-action rifle. Do you reckon next week we could potentially see this being accepted? Now, transparent aim sight bolt-action rifles, is it all that necessary? Wouldn't you just want to put a scope in it? True, true. But what I care about is seeing more. More for this proposed collection. If I see more, overall, I expect to see more investment in all the skins, more specifically, the skins that appeared before, so basically the SAP, the AK, and of course, our SAR. If you saw how well Heatseeker Collection progressed with more and more skins being accepted, I'm sure you'd know. If you were there last year for Heatseeker Summer, oh, you'd know. So let's just take a quick look, and as you'll see, lots of it in the green. Unfortunately, the more recent ones aren't exactly doing super great. Oh, you had the worst timing, didn't you? But these have steadily been increasing in price over time because people like it, appreciate it. It's got like a prestigious sort of brand to it now. So, all right, let's hope something very similar happens with the tribal alloy. What's next? I've got no idea. But you know what? We could just quickly go ahead and take a look at the workshop comments. Maybe, people have been asking. Python and then a Tommy. Oh, well, there you go. So Python's probably going to be next, and then a Thompson. Personally, I'd prefer a revolver. I personally prefer a revolver over a Python. We already have tons of transparent aim sight Pythons, but yeah, it's up to them. Anyway, we're expecting more. I'm happy. Cool, cool. So, yeah, right then. I feel optimistic that we'll see a lot more of this. I certainly hope it doesn't stop. But regardless, if we're just going to only talk about that SAR, if it ends today, if we don't see another tribal alloy skin being accepted, I still expect that to rise up in price in the further future. Now, in the further future, maybe not until at least next year, I would be surprised if we do see another transparent aim sight SAR. But we've been through this before. Just look at the Heatseeker SAR, for example. It had its ups, it had its downs, but overall, it was still slowly trending up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. I expect to see the same with that. So, I guess we could probably go ahead and look at the HellCore as well, just to kind of see how that performed after the Easter dip. So right now this is sitting here about $3.50. I think it's just over $4 at the moment. And as you'll notice, this right here, it's just been steadily increasing in price. But then as of recent, but look at that. Look at that. This appeared back in January time. It was just kind of there for a while, kind of perks up a bit with more skins being accepted, kind of dips a bit as we go through March. But after that, well, it's just been steadily increasing in price more and more and more and more and more. I won't be surprised if we do see something very similar with the tribal alloy. But at some point, we'll have too many transparent aim sight SAR skins, and it really wouldn't surprise me if we then have problems. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have deleted that. Yeah, let's bring that back because I might need to go back onto the Steam market afterwards. I'll also point out, if you're noticing problems with SCMM, I'm seeing it too. Looks like it's only just updated itself now. Yeah, that's broken. Rust help seems to be a little bit more, what's the word to say? It's holding up better. Let's go with that. Right, cool. So, tribal SAR, blah, blah, blah. You're looking good. Let's get the abnormal barders done first at the very least. But I feel confident we'll be buying this regardless. I think that's going to hold up quite nicely. I think I'll probably be doing a barder all the way up to like $3. That is looking to be pretty interesting. So, cool. I don't need to say any more. All's good. Let's now talk about both the auto turrets. Auto turret or auto turret? Ah. They need to figure out the proper naming scheme. Is it all one word or is it two words? That is going to be awkward when you search for them on the Steam market, isn't it? So, Popstar, Neon Collection. Both of them, lots of demand, lots of interest, but which side are you on? I actually put a tweet out for that yesterday. I said it in the video. Anyway, they actually have like somewhat similar sales, but Popstar's just ahead, just by a bit, of course, with an extra 1,000 subscribers. And as you'll notice, that's a lot of green. That's a lot of positivity. I am pretty sure over the past 10 weeks, we have seen 7 Popstar skins being accepted. Face Punch happens to like Popstar. Now, I am fully well aware that we are going to see another skin being produced fairly soon. In fact, it's finished. Be prepared, there will be another Popstar skin this weekend. But guys, we're going through Popstar Summer. I think I quite literally need to go ahead and make a special video dedicated to talking about Popstar, because we just keep seeing more and more and more. And let me also just quickly remind you, last year, when it first started, we got about like 5 skins accepted, if you can recall. I think it's like 5 or 6. Anyway, then we didn't see anything for about 5 months. And it did drop off. It did go down. But then after that, it returns. Yippee! And then suddenly everything's back up in the green again. Like that AK-47. Just take one quick look at this. See how its history was. And you'll be quite surprised to see what's happened to it. So as you'll notice, it's now listed at about $9. The barders are pushing up to $6. This has had a very strong resurgence. So let's just go ahead and show that to you. Yeah, look at that. What? What's going on? So yes. After we didn't see any Popstar skins being accepted for a while, it just kept dropping off. And then, of course, post-Christmas, it does perk up quite a bit. But then it drops off again. Easter dip. Oh, it's so glum. But then we start to notice the MP5 and the Jackhammer and the Sheepman Adore and so much more. And look what's happened to it. It is doing good. And now we're about to enter July and August. Now, if I could also just go on another side tangent, if you aren't fully well aware in regards to what I'm saying in regards to summer peaks, well, I did make a video talking about this somewhat recently, and we'll show that off at, towards the very end of this video. But basically, usually between July and August, we see a lot of kids playing Rust because, well, they're out of school, summer vacation, summer holidays, however you might say it. And I know there are different seasons around the world and whatnot. There is a lot of kids playing Rust right now. Let's just say that. More people playing Rust equals more demand for skins, which of course leads to, well, higher skin prices. Not too hard to comprehend. So usually during July and August, we see a lot of skins reaching brand new all-time high prices. But then what happens after that? September, October, November, the dreaded autumn-fall seasonal dip. Prices will go down and they will hit rock bottom prices. But then after that, we then get closer and closer and closer towards the end of the year, Christmas time, and then, of course, post-Christmas time, which is January time. Every January, there's a lot of people out there that are still out of school, still out of work, and they are playing Rust. And that is usually when we see the biggest turnout for Rust players. So, of course, when there's lots of people playing again, what happens? I just said it a second ago. More people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. Yes, Rust is very routine. We have our highs, we have our lows, we have our highs, we have our lows. But it happens every single year, all the time. I keep screaming at everybody. I keep telling you every single year, this is what's going to happen. And then it happens. But more specifically, the highs and the lows. I did kind of warn you about the possibility of a June dip as well. That doesn't seem to have happened this year, so that's good. But it is expected that your inventory is going to reach a brand new all-time high as we go through the next 2 months, okay? Start looking at your inventory. So looking at Popstar now, I can't help but assume it's going to probably reach up even higher prices. And okay, that honestly sounds great. That's awesome. Are we still going to see more Popstar skins being produced? Well, as I said, yes. There is another skin on the horizon. In fact, I'll just double check and see if it's been posted yet, because I do believe it is finished. Keep an eye out. It's not there yet, but it will be soon. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what it is. I've also spoken to the skin creator as well. I've handed over some ideas. We'll see if they come to fruition. But anyway, that's got a lot of momentum behind it. Neon Collection though. Neon Collection doesn't get frequent skins. Not every week, if you know what I mean. But it does get skins every other month. So when I look at the Neon Collection, well, of course, we had the large boxes in the past. In fact, maybe I'm better off looking at it this way because on SEMM it categorizes it a little bit better. It's a bit neater. We have tons upon tons upon tons of deplorables. But I will sit here and say, with the arrival of this, did we see the neon electric furnace spike command, spike price? No. If we get a neon metal shop front, would it help out the auto turret? I don't think so. If we were to, yes, now you're thinking about it. If we were to get a Popstar metal shop front, I've just heard so many people right now scream in terror and scream in joy. I don't know what to think of that. You could comment below if you're happy or sad of the thought. Yes, the skin creator is considering it. We spoke to him yesterday on our stream. If we see a Popstar metal shopfront skin, because it is the brand new Skinnable for next month, don't you think it might give all of that a nice boost? Don't you think it'll upset a lot of people in game as well, probably as well? Yeah, moving on. So, I think Popstar, with its overall themes, does like give each new skin, each new skin that appears, it does give like the pre-existing skins a nice boost. But I just don't see it with the Neon collection. Now, of course, with auto turrets, we are expecting a lot more auto turrets. And if I could just quickly go over to here and showcase that to you. So, I've been keeping track. I've been yapping non-stop. We've got like Space Station. We've got a cool Frostbite design right there. Got a graffiti design. What on earth is this? Is that too much? Feel free to comment below. It's too ridiculous, surely. They've got like a clown. Who could say no to a clown? So we've got lots of interesting designs being produced. We have a shark. We have a shark. So yes, I really wouldn't be surprised if we just keep seeing more and more and more and more. Not the green ones. We're not supposed to have camouflage auto turrets. But anyway, I am a little bit worried for them. But with Popstar, I mean, if we just see another skin being accepted, oh, that's just going to work out nicely. You know what? Great example. Look at the electric furnace here. That's doing good. And with that appearing, I don't think it really boosted that much. It was already doing good. But again, with each new skin that we see, overall, the better it seems to be doing. So, yeah, they are different. Yes, this is selling more, but I think for a good reason. I think it's got more fans at the moment. Not too hard to comprehend. So, okay. I'm going to sit here and say I'm not feeling that confident with them, because I'm still unsure if people care that much about auto turret skins. But, you know, just think of it this way. This glows in the dark. Please consider watching my rust rotation video to see that for yourself. This glows in the dark, and that could just straight up be a much better deterrent, you know. You might sit there and say, oh, but I don't want people to notice the glow. I don't want them to notice the auto turret. It's got red lasers. It makes a noise. People will know it's there, okay? You can't make it stealthy. It's not allowed. It goes against the whole design of it, okay? So maybe the purple pattern design is an extra deterrent so that people from quite a distance away know to stay away. You might prefer that. You might like that. But also the idea of having an anime girl protecting you, you know? Stay away from the base. She'll scream at you. She'll shoot. She'll shoot in sight. I think people would also happen to like that as well. So, hey, we'll see how things go. I am expecting Twitch drops. I am expecting kick drops. It's inevitability that there will be more auto turret skins. But will we ever see another glow-in-the-dark neon design? Will we ever see another anime girl auto turret? That's something you've got to think about. It's things like that that'll make you stay up at night. Anyway, moving on. Rainbow Pony bolt action rifle. To my surprise, it's not selling that much. I would have thought a lot of people have been behind that. But maybe, after what happened with the previous week, oh dear. So let's start clearing up some of these, because I think I actually prepared a link earlier for the... Oh, you just had it, you fool. It was right there. Yeah. So, I have the Heatseeker bolt action rifle. We were literally just discussing, could this actually hold up quite nicely? Are there any potential problems? And I did warn everybody about the possibility of the Black Ops, the Tribal Alloy, or even the Rainbow Pony bolt action rifle. All three had transparency. Rainbow Pony was accepted. It was half the price. Oh boy, that's starting to suffer. That sold for $4. It's now listed at $3.50. Barders are still looking pretty sweet though. Whilst this might dip, I don't think it's going to be down forever. I do believe that'll be rising back up as time goes on. We'll see. Anyway, if people truly were wanting a transparent aim sight bolt action rifle, well, chances are, did you already get the Coconut Bee and the H-June drop from last year? Because both of them had transparency. Well, if you missed out, for a simple price of $2, you have that right there. And I actually had to sit here and say, I think this actually might be working out quite all right. The Rainbow Pony collection is in demand. We have a lot of skins that have been accepted. And you might notice, oh well, we actually have quite a decent variety. So I'm very much under the impression, with this not exactly selling that much, but still being a very interesting pay-to-win skin, I think that's going to do good. Now let's also point out, how often do we see bolt action rifle skins being accepted? Well, last year we actually had quite a lot of drops but only 2 skins accepted. The year before that, we only had 3 skins accepted. The year before that, 2. And in 2022, we didn't even have any. So if we do stop with the drops, okay, we might have a drought again. Now, of course, I should point out, it is the focused item of the month currently. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see one next week, and even possibly July Force Wipe as well. We'll see what happens with that. But I'm not expecting more than 5 bolt action rifles this year. Now, knowing that, and, you know, with the possibility of a drought, with a lack of new skins, Rainbow Pony actually might work out very nicely. I am not expecting it to sell too ridiculously. Like, at the current rate of sales I'm looking at now, I'm probably expecting it to probably at best maybe reach about 12,000 subscribers. Now, I'm not going to give you the actual estimates and whatnot. I'll save that for the 48-hour analysis. But that is doing good. That is looking pretty sweet. Okay? So it's not selling too ridiculously. The collection's in demand. I've seen weapon skins in that collection do very nicely in the past. I think that actually is looking to be pretty sweet. Just saying. So, one final warning. There will be more bolt action rifle skins being produced over the course of this weekend. Currently, right now, we still have the Black Ops and the Tribal Alloy bolt action rifle with transparency on the workshop right now as well. With that being accepted, I'm kind of expecting the bolt action rifle to potentially appear next week. If we do see instant competition, that could be a problem for that. But as time goes on, I do believe they'll still work out nicely. So we'll see what becomes of that. But yes, that is in a very, very, very good spot. It's not abnormal though. And yet still, I'm looking at that with some keen interest. Apotheosis of War Electric Furnace. Alright, cool. More Apotheosis of War skins. Double thumbs up. Now, I will sit here and say, it doesn't look as if the fridge and the garage door are holding up perfectly fine. Only one way to just prove that. So let's just go to the Steam market. Let's see if it's doing A-okay. So, based on what I see here, oh wow, yeah. Got a few listings going down. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, you got about, let's see, about 7 listings there, 8. And it's back up to its restore price. It's weird. We got a collection continuation. It's still suffering. Here's hoping it does manage to dig itself out that hole. But it's another electric furnace. How many electric furnaces are we going to see by the end of this year? Looking at its design, it's not exactly super flashy. With the side panel, with the like the wasteland and the skulls and whatnot, that does look cool. But the overall design just, I don't think it stands out that much. Like with the previous week, with the Molten Visage, like the bricks on the bottom glowed and whatnot. It had the patterns and the symbols all over it. Popstar had all the neon, the LED colours and whatnot, all the buttons for the DJ set and whatnot. That had like a lot of creativity. This right here is quite discreet. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it does just kind of drop off. Not to sound mean, I am behind the Apotheosis of War collection. I'm very keen to see what else could be produced for it and whatnot. I'm just not feeling super confident with that particular design as all. I'm just not feeling it. But again, maybe it sells next to nothing. Maybe that could give it a nice boost. We'll see what becomes of that. Still, I'm not feeling that confident. I'm sorry to say. Now, by all means, if you like it, if you want it, just treat yourself. Buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creators. Keep them nice and motivated to want to keep putting nice creative designs in the future. However, one extra thing I want to point out, it's not selling that much. This very likely could be the lowest selling electric furnace we've seen so far. But to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me with a lot more expected on the horizon, especially by the end of this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we probably have like 20. Inevitably, there will be ones that sell even less. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. So, okay, we'll see how it goes. But priced at $3, I'm not feeling that confident, sorry to say. With the Genesis double barrel shotgun, it's a perfectly fine looking double barrel. But one quick look over to here, and how many of these double barrel shotguns are in the positive that have come out recently? You got 1, you got 2, okay, you got 3, 4. The vast majority are still in the red though. The vast majority are not looking good. So, okay, that might be a bit of a concern. But looking at its design, it looks pretty cool. I have no complaints. Could we potentially get a collection being built up from this? We shall see. But overall, I just don't trust double barrel shotguns. Now, you haven't sold that much, and that's pretty obvious, isn't it? But even with a sheer lack of sales, which is something I've definitely noticed with double barrel shotguns recently, it doesn't mean they're safe. They very likely could still suffer. So, all right, then we'll see what happens. We'll see if we see like a collection continuation appearing this weekend. But I don't have the highest of hopes. Sorry to say. Tier 3 locker, it's discreet. It's not super flashy. It doesn't glow in the dark. It's not selling that much. That is quite a surprise. There is quite a drop-off, like with the first view and then the last view. But yeah, feel free to go ahead and look at this in my rust rotation video as I showcase it, like reflecting the lights at night time and whatnot. I said maybe you could try and build up like an authentic sort of workshop, an authentic sort of like stationary area and whatnot. What am I trying to say? Nothing super flashy and glow in the dark, just a more sort of realistic sort of interior design with your base. I don't think people are going to really even consider the thought of this hedge. Fair enough. But anyway, it's nice to have options. Not everything has to be super flashy and super colourful and super in your face. So it's nice to see that. And with it actually being a brand new potential collection, what could be made next? I'm eager to find out. If we have like a discreet, deplorable set, I think that might get some fans. But with a lack of sales, well, if we don't see a collection continuation, I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be doing okay. A lack of sales can obviously point out a lack of interest. But if we do see a sequel in the future and it's sold next to nothing, oh, that's going to spike a price ever so nice. Oh, yes. So, we'll see. HellCore Jacket. So, based on what I'm looking at here, it's quite a surprise. But I'm still confused why they skipped over the tier 2. Tier 2's right there. It's right there. Face punch is right there. Pick that. All right, whatever. It's fine. They've accepted the jacket for now. Maybe the tier 2 needs a version 2. Much like what happened with the tier 3. Okay, we'll see what becomes of that. But yeah, okay, it's another jacket, which is more like a cape because it's got transparency. Looks cool. Looks nice. It's not super shiny. It's not super reflective. But based on what I've seen with this, how's that sold next to nothing? I have tested this out with the hoodie and pants and whatnot, and I think it lines up nicely. I think it looks cool. But that is not selling that much. Like, you are not selling that much whatsoever. And this very likely could be the lowest selling transparent cape design for a jacket skin that we've ever seen. Now, you know, we've had like Twitch drops and kick drops in the past. We'll have to acknowledge that. But are you going to sell less than Lunar Jacket Cape? Honestly, it does look like that's going to be the case. Now, also consider this. With the success of the HellCore collection, considering all of that, if we were to see like tier 2, if we were to see boots and gloves, don't you think the jacket might still spark a price ever so nice? What do you reckon? So that's definitely something to consider. And I do feel confident we eventually will see boots and gloves and all that. I certainly hope we do see tier 2. Again, maybe it just needs to be a version 2. Just needs to have a few changes. But with this, we'll see what becomes of this. I'd like to wait until Wednesday and then make considerations. That right there, it is abnormal. So, I need to do my barters first. $3.49 is quite a lot. Especially with what we saw last week with multiple skins at high prices. But it does look cool. It does look nice. And there is a possibility, especially with the amount of acceptances we've seen so far, that we could see a sequel and that could get a nice boost out of it. So we'll see what becomes of that. Now, gold chain salvage stacks. As I've already pointed out, in the past, we've had nice pick. Are you doing good? Let's quickly go ahead and find that out. Because, of course, this is now the first marketable pair. This is doing good, much like all the ice picks from last year. You might recall last year we had quite a lot of ice pick skins being produced because, of course, it was the focused item of the month for a month. I don't remember. But anyway, all of them went up in price. And this is doing even better now. Look, it's rising. It's rising. All-time high price. What a lovely sight to see. But let me just go ahead and remind myself. How much did you sell? This did 23,900 subscribers. What? Let me tell you now. This gold chain salvage stacks is not going to get anywhere close to the amount of subscribers that did the ice pick. This probably at best might only reach around 8,000 subscribers. If there is a proper pairing for some salvage tools, There's quite a lot for the ice pick to get picked up from, but do you reckon the salvage decks might actually just work out perfectly fine just because people want to pair it up with the ice pick? Now, you're going to probably sit there and say, well, I don't often actually have both the salvage tools. No, rarely actually go out with both of them at the same time. You know what? That probably is a perfectly fun to put, like thing to point out, whatnot, true. But I would have reason to believe people would like to see pairings more. And I'm very much under the impression now we should probably start being prepared for both tool skins being produced at the same time and appearing on the workshop with the hopes of both of them being accepted in the same roster. Case in point, I did see recently we saw the Black Ops tools. Yep. Take a look at this, because what you'll see is both of them were submitted at the same time. If they were to be accepted, well, that's the second ever pairing of salvage tools being accepted. Yippee! But that would be the first instance of both at the same time. So maybe the novelty of that might wear off pretty quickly with a lot more on the horizon. We'll see, okay? But it's the lack of sales. It's got me thinking. I mean, we could just wait until Wednesday. We can consider that a little bit better. This is why I keep telling you, patience is very rewarding, okay? It's smarter to wait it out, look at the sales on Wednesday, then make considerations. Right, so overall, to be honest with you, I am intrigued with quite a lot of those skins. But I'm just going to put that to the side now, because I've got some other things to bring up to you. Yes, you. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and do the conclusion. Now, I should just quickly point out, all the skins you see here, all of them were submitted somewhat recently. So basically, if you're anticipating what potentially could be accepted next, well, I would recommend you consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks for June 16, 2026. Out of all the skins here, only one of them was accepted. But if I had to go ahead and showcase to you the previous week, well, you'll then find out that a lot of skins from the previous week was actually accepted. So, in short, Hedge is trying his best to keep you all informed of what might potentially be appearing in Rust stores fairly soon. So if you want to go ahead and look at the video version, over to here, you can see June 16, 2026, the Rust Workshop skin checks. All of it is collection continuations. I only talk about collection continuations. It's all chaptered, it's all there. And I should also point out, we have brand new Skinnables on the horizon. So, starting next week, we're very likely going to start seeing some metal shopfront skins. Yes, metal shopfront. What silly skins will we see being produced? Well, I can confirm, Popstar Skin Creator is aware of it. It just needs a good idea. Alright, say no more, we'll see what happens there. But yes, that is expected. But what's also anticipated now is that eventually we're going to see small backpack skins appearing in Rust. Now, I'm not sure what happened, because this was talked about first, and then this was talked about. Well, then again, it actually was talked about earlier. We just didn't spot it. But yes, metal shopfront skins for July 2026, and maybe for August 2026, small backpack skins. So many people have been begging and screaming at me, Hedge, I want small backpack skins. Where are they? I need them. I don't know. I don't work for Face Punch. Please stop yelling at me. Keep an eye on the commits. You will become a lot more aware of new things that could be added soon, and you could probably get an early insight in regards to what potentially might be added. Maybe you might be able to, go buy some skins. So, cool. We understand. Now, let me also point out Games Room DLC. This is expected to be the next DLC for, well, next month. And it seems to just be quite literally a games room. So apparently there's darts. Apparently there's a pool table. But what we should also point out is that there's a mini fridge. Games mini fridge. With the recent DLC pack, we saw the auto turret and the large furnace getting their first ever skins. But with that, the auto turret then became skinnable. I wouldn't be surprised if later down the line we eventually see the mini fridge become skinnable as well. And I guess the large furnace. Or maybe they just want large furnaces to always only be in DLCs. We'll see. All right? Maybe the same could be said for mini fridges. We'll see. So, okay, cool. Keep an eye on the commits. And let's see if the player count's going to hold up over the course of the next couple of weeks. Like, with what I'm seeing, it's steady, it's fine, and prices are doing very, 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 very good. So I did mention this earlier. I have talked about the progress and the brand new all-time high prices. So if you haven't been looking at your inventory, if you've noticed prices steadily improving as of recent, this video basically explains everything. So yes, you could right now consider selling your skins. Well, with the prices that they're at now, they were a lot better, like compared to 2 months ago or 3 months ago, since we had the Easter dip. But I can't help but assume, much like what we talked about earlier as well, with the summer peaks expecting, literally as of next month, the prices of skins could potentially go up even higher. All right? So consider giving this a good watch. I do point out several skins that have been reaching all-time high prices as of now, but even then I'm like, you know what? I still expect that it could go higher. But there are problems because, unfortunately, we also happen to have issues with dumping on the Steam market. So it would also be quite helpful for you to learn from that, if you want to learn. Right, cool. So yeah, summer progress. We are noticing prices are peaking, but we also notice people are dumping. Let me also go ahead and showcase this to you with great thanks from Mr. Protox. Oh, what's this? So I'll link the tweet in the description. But apparently we have plushies again. Different types of plushies. So in the past we had like the cancer research and the Ronald McDonald House charities. Well, now we have more. We have another teddy for Ronald McDonald House. We have another teddy for Cancer Research UK. And now we have Humans World for Animals. They should have done a cat. They should have done a cat for the animals one. Maybe they could do different plushies. We'll see how that goes. But you could have done different animals. Oh, they could have done Beanie Babies. Yeah, they probably shouldn't. They might get in trouble with that. But yes, more teddy bears on the horizon. Looks like we'll probably be buying these straight from the Rust store, and all proceeds go towards the charities. So that's cool. What animals in particular? I don't care too much about frogs. I'm joking. Right. Anyway, yep, that's a nice thing to be aware of and look forward to. That'll probably appear this upcoming July. And those will stick around for a full month. Again, it's this row here. Maybe they will do all 5. I think it's going to be just those 3. Just those 3. We'll see how it goes. Cool. Right, anything else to address, Hedge? No, I think I'm good. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. I can point out kick drops are still dropping. Grab them whilst you still can. And unfortunately, it looks as if the kick drop, the specific kick main channel drop, yeah, they're not playing again, are they? They're not streaming again. Also, I've noticed Crowley and Raven Rust haven't been playing for a bit, have they? Uh-oh. Maybe they'll come back on the final day, we shall see. But do not miss out on those skins. There's a lot of pay-to-win skins right there that are amazing, and they're absolutely free. So don't miss out. And don't forget to claim as well. You might not notice, but if you go on to Kick, and if you go to the drops section, you might notice you actually have to claim them by pressing a button. Double check, make sure. Please be aware of that. Please be aware of that. Sorry to sound so assertive and point at you, but you need to be aware of that. You might accidentally lose your special skins. Right. So I've been yapping for about 48 minutes. A lot of people probably just skip straight ahead. You might notice I'm a little bit sweaty. Oh, God. I really went into it. There's a lot of justification. There's a lot of figuring out. But now, if I was to sit here and consider what potentially could be the best thing to invest into this week, again, I will reiterate, abnormal barders, you really should do them. But what's really caught my eye is the tribal Alloy SAR. Now, I don't think this is going to sell that much. Maybe it might actually get close to about 25,000 subscribers. But you know what? That would be very similar to what we saw with the HellCore SAR. And that was pushing above $5. That was doing good, but, you know, with a new thing. But we're not expecting another transparent aim sight SAR for a very long time. Maybe not for at least another half a year or another full year. But by then, another half a year in, it'll be post-Christmas. That'll just be cruising up in price regardless. And with the possibility of more skins on the horizon, much like the bolt action rifle that's currently on the workshop, and of course with this weekend, we're expecting a Python or a Thompson. I can't help but assume we've got a brand new transparent aim sight weapon collection on the horizon that a lot of people will be appreciating. It's in a very good spot, not selling too ridiculously. The stars have aligned. That's looking sweet, all right? I should also point out, I posted a short video showcasing it, and that's got like 3,000 views already. By Hedge standards, that's doing good. People are noticing. People are appreciating. I think that'll be working out all right in the further future. So, yeah. I think I might be buying a bunch. $3.49 though, Hedge. And yeah, it's the cheapest one. The cheapest transparent aim sight SAR currently available on the Steam market. Say no more. Now, looking at all the other skins, I think I have to talk about the Rainbow Pony Bolt Action Rifle. Yes, there might still be another transparent aim sight bolt action rifle being accepted. Cough, cough. But with the sales I'm seeing here, and with the demand that this collection has, I am pleasantly surprised. Like, look at the L96 here. That did 22,700 subscribers. How often are you using an L96? And yet, this right here might only do about 12,000 subscribers. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. I think that's looking pretty good. I still anticipate seeing more Rainbow Pony skins in the future as well. Who knows what it's going to be, because there's tons of skins there. Like, there's a massive variety. But just simply seeing more, it's all the better for the whole collection, all right? So based on what I'm seeing, with the lack of sales, with the pay to win feature, I have to talk about that. Thumbs up. That's looking good. And yes, much to the stress and the annoyance of the Heatseeker bolt action rifle from the previous week, and yet that very likely will still go back up in price in the further future as well. So, all right, cool, you're looking good. But what about everything else here? I am going to talk about Popstar. Neon, you are cool, but Popstar's just got that momentum, all right? Popstar, we recently saw your electric furnace come out. We were questioning, would that be all right? Would that be okay? We saw the part electric furnace, and that's, you know, with that collection being super in demand, we thought, could the same thing happen with this? Yes, it did. That's holding up quite nicely at the moment. It's not like ridiculously profitable and whatnot, but that is doing good. And I just can't help but assume, with the possibility of even more Popstar skins on the horizon, and considering over the past 10 weeks we've seen 7 Popstar skins being accepted, I don't think it's going to stop. Although at some point it does eventually have to stop. It did stop last year. 5 months passed, no Popstar skins, prices did drop, and then, oh look at that, another Popstar skin appears, and then another 6 appeared after that. Everything's up in price. I can't help but assume the auto turret probably will be doing nicely. The electric furnace was very fun, bright, colourful and creative. This is very goofy. Do you want to have a very angry anime girl protecting your base? Be honest. Right, so I think that could actually work out quite right. But that also might be a case of, you know what, we're probably better off with just sticking with a buy order. A good buy order, but you could probably also consider buying some. Again, I'd rather wait till Wednesday, abnormal buy orders first, then consider buying straight from the Rust store. I feel like that's the smarter way to go about it. So, alright, cool. Now, I should talk about ballistic boots and gloves. Again, it does line up very nicely with the brand new armor in game and the BDU clothing, that being the ballistic armor, just to clarify. But I'm not sure if the ballistic armor and the BDU clothing will become skinnable, because if they do, well, then you've got like No Mercy, like armor and clothing there, or I don't know, Blackout, or I don't know, Forest Raiders. No, Temple, no camouflage, Hugo. Bye-bye. But you get the idea. If we end up seeing that become skinnable, well, would this still be in demand? Would it still be appreciated? Because this is for the default armor and whatnot. But I can't help but assume that might not be happening. I don't think we'll be seeing the ballistic armor become skinnable for quite some time. And within that time, I do believe the gloves, I do believe the boots will be appreciated with the full set. It wouldn't surprise me if they packaged this as a special DLC with a special sort of skin suit, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, like how hazmats are all DLC now. You have to buy straight and, you know, you keep it in your inventory forever. That might be how they go about with this. So would that make the boots and the gloves potentially redundant? Oh, we'll see, okay? So I'm not fully into it, but I have to respect that for now. Pairing up this with the brand new armor, I think, yeah, people will be doing that. How much is it going to sell, though? Ooh, we'll have to wait and see, okay? So, yeah. I'm somewhat positive, but I'm just not really fully there. So if you feel more positive, by all means, you can jump in and grab some. But again, I think we should wait till Wednesday, look at the sales bar, then make that consideration, right? It's smart to be patient. And sort of, but you know what? I should say it. With the sheer lack of sales, with the potential of more HellCore clothing armor skins on the horizon, the jacket does look pretty interesting. Mainly because it's just not selling that much. I'm questioning, could that even reach 10,000 subscribers? Well, you know what? In comparison to the hoodie pants in the tier 3 then, it would be selling less. Hoodie and pants did 12,500 subscribers. Tier 3 did about 16,000 subscribers. Jacket. The jacket could end up like the naval camo jacket. So as long as the collection remains in demand, if the jacket sold the least, surely the jacket could still go up in price. And again, that's basically complete. HellCore isn't. I'm anticipating a second attempt on the tier 2. I'm anticipating boots and gloves. That could actually work out quite all right. Does it get like a lot more sales now or what? Not, I don't know. But it's also $3.49. Oh, so that'd be more of a discussion when we do the abnormal barders. But I have to talk about that too. So yeah, now I'm done. There are some other things there, and by all means, if you just skipped ahead to the conclusion and you feel like I haven't said enough, rewind. Look for the chapters. Look specifically as I talk about all these skins, all right? Right then, so once again, I do apologise if I sounded funny. I do apologise if I sound a bit tired, if I didn't have that much energy, but I hope I got all the points across. I hope you fully understand, and I hope you're anticipating some very strange skins to start appearing on the workshop this weekend. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look right now. Do I see strange things? Not yet. No, not really. But soon. Soon. What ideas do you have for a metal shopfront? Feel free to comment below.